Have you ever heard anything like that in your life?
Never. Just wonderful.
When I first heard that somebody was on who was going to play glass, I thought you were going to hit him with the spoons, but that is wonderful.
Oh, boy.
I haven't heard anything like that since the night you played the Marine hymn on 3 margarita glasses.
Yeah, remember that was? Well, what a night that was.
We will take a break. David Letterman is here tonight, and Jeffrey Osborne. So stay where you are. Thank you, Jim. Hi there. Thank you, Tom. Jeffrey Osborne will be along a little while. David Letterman is here tonight. David used to appear on this show quite frequently, and of course has his own show following us out of New York City. And I understand he is beginning. He was just renewed for his 3rd year. Does time pass quickly? Would you welcome Mr. David Letterman?
Thank you so much. Please stay away from the fence.
Yes, I know it's... They tend to attack out here.
Sorry, my hands are just dripping wet. I shook hands with the glass player. Squeegee this off a little bit.
What happens if he gets thirsty? He just drinks his act, I suppose?
Sure, I would guess so. It's beautiful music, though.
Just renewed for a 3rd year.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Before I get on, I just want to say... what a great thing Ed is doing with this program, Star Search. I don't know if America understands this or not, but Hollywood right now, Johnny, is in the middle of one of its worst star shortages.
Yes.
There was some talk that there would be no show business. They'd have to shut it down for a couple of months, but no. Thanks to the wonderful work this man is doing, there'll be plenty of stars.
Plenty of stars.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for those kind words, Dave.
It was getting very thin out here for a while. You just didn't...
Right. I don't know. I guess people just don't want to be in show business anymore. It's a darndest thing.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
You having fun in New York? Be honest now.
Let me explain a couple of things about New York to you.
Yeah.
Like I got to tell you, I love the city of New York, but it's easy to be misled. I'll give you an example about this. There was in Psychology Today, the newest issue, a survey about things, a sociological survey, and it said if a man or a woman lives in New York City and you get up in the morning and you leave your apartment on the way to where you work. Now, as soon as you leave your apartment, if you call everyone you see a jerk, you will have been correct 80% of the time. Actually, so it's easy to get the wrong impression of the city like that. Another interesting thing about New York, you hear a lot about Broadway plays and the culture. People don't care about
ballet. They always say New York.
No, they don't. No, New Yorkers aren't concerned with that. They're interested in one thing, and that's apartments. Now, I was walking to work one day, and I come upon a police barricade. Now, what had happened in this apartment on the first floor, there had been a gangland slaying. Now, you know, whenever you have a gangland slaying, you're going to have what? Grisly remains. Right. So, now, the police were in the middle of clearing out the grisly remains. And we're all sort of standing there just waiting so we can get to work. And a woman comes up, middle-aged woman, pleasant looking, and she's got like one ads with her, you know. And she says, what exactly happened here? And I said, well, apparently there was a gangland slaying. And she says, oh, they're carrying out the grisly remains. And I said, yeah. they're taking them out. And so she kind of looks into the window of the apartment where all of this took place, and she tapped the policeman on the shoulder, and she said, excuse me, is that a 2-bedroom? that kind of thing. But
you don't live in Manhattan, do you?
Well, I did for a while.
Yeah.
I did for a while, and I'll tell you where I'm living in a few minutes.
All right.
And this is kind of why I moved. When you're living in an apartment, you rely on one person for everything, and that's your superintendent. This guy is the lifeline. He connects you to the planet. Now, we moved into this building, and I feel pretty good the first day because there's a big plaque right there on the entryway, and it says, the superintendent of this building is B. Peppy. It's embossed right in there, you know, from the old song, I want to be Peppy. You wanna... So I think, well, I got nothing to worry about. The man's got a plaque. So we're in there a couple of weeks, and the air conditioning goes out in the place. And I called up B. Peppy. It turned out his name was Benny Peppy, and still is Benny Peppy. And Benny says, well, I don't have a key. They don't give me a key. So I said, oh, okay, Benny, and then a couple of weeks later, the heat came on right in the middle of the summer, and I called up Benny, and he says, I don't have a key. And I said, well, he's got a plaque, but he has no key, also has no clue, so now we're making real progress. I said, Benny, there's a Bedouin tribesman living in the cellar. I'm sorry, I got no key. Okay, so one day, it's about midnight on a Sunday, and we're getting ready to go to sleep, and we got the TV on, and pretty soon I hear... This is obviously water under extreme pressure escaping.
And a good impersonation it was.
Well, thank you very much, John. Thank you.
You don't hear those anymore. You don't have acts that did that.
We weren't picked up for our third year for nothing.
You got it.
So, I didn't know what to think right away. We're in the neighborhood where the UN, and I thought, well, maybe it's kids having fun with an embassy or something, You never can tell. So 20 minutes later, it's getting humid in the bedroom. It's just unbelievably humid. It's like downtown Manila. It's just, there is stuff dripping off the ceiling, and so, well, you got to investigate this, So I get up and I go into the bathroom, and it's like a Three Stooges movie, Oh, you must be the gentleman who came to look at the plumbing? Well, there's this gushing fountain of water coming out of the hot water deal. So I look down there, there's nothing to turn it off. So I call... Benny. Benny says, well, I'll be right over. Well, I thought, well, Benny knows something this time. So Benny comes right over, and he says, what's the trouble? And I said, well, Benny, we got water going crazy here. And he says, I don't have a key. So I said, well, what does that mean? And he says, well, to turn off the water, you have to get a plumber to come in and go downstairs, and I don't have a key to let him in. So it didn't make any difference because your chances of getting a plumber to make a house call in Manhattan at 12:30 at night are about as good as the chances of running into your ex-wife waiting in line for day-old bread. So we knew that
Small chance of that. Small chance of that, yes.
So you see...
Benny doesn't have a key. Why don't you give him a key for Christmas? Wouldn't that have been nice?
I got a picture of Benny here if you want to get to that in a minute.
Yeah. I didn't know what this was for a moment ago.
Well, here are the firemen.
What do you mean firemen?
The firemen had to come in to turn off the water.
This is Benny, Peppy here?
Save Benny for...
Well, tip it.
No.
This is obviously...
That's the water damage. They're in the kitchen.
Well, you're right. I don't know what is right side up here is. Well, I suppose it makes no difference, does it?
No, there you go.
I see.
Like that. That's the water damage.
Uh-huh.
Now, see, the water leaked down there. And that's really not a safety hazard, is it? An electrical outlet and standing water?
No.
I think that'll be UL approved. I don't see a problem there.
There's firemen coming to the door.
These are the firemen, yeah. Now, it cost the city of New York about $5,000 to turn off my water. All because Benny had no key. And there he is.
And this is obviously Benny.
This is Benny. Now, this is not the guy from Allstate.
Hey, I got no key.
No, that's right.
You want from me?
You're in good hands with that guy? No, I don't think so.
Okay, we'll do this. We're going to come back. We have some little New Year's favors and stuff.
Yeah.
There are lots of goodies for you, folks. So stay where you are, and we'll come back. We're talking with David Letterman, formerly of Manhattan, and for obvious reasons has moved to Connecticut.
The Nutmeg State. Did you know that? You knew that, didn't you?
The Nutmeg State.
You know why they call it that? I have no idea either.
I don't either.
No.
It's an interesting question in case, you're...
Yeah, it comes up a lot in Connecticut, folks. I seem to be enchanted with that. It's a beautiful state.
Yeah.
It's a little conservative by, California standards or Manhattan standards. And the people there really... I think would rather you dress like a pilgrim. But it's, they have, did you ever spend much time there?
No, I had a friend who moved up there, and he did a switch. He bought a modern house and made it into an old barn.
Gee, that's an interesting approach.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that, oh, geez. Now, look at that, John.
Lost some more tooth?
Well, my tooth just came right out. It's an artificial tooth, don't worry. People gasping up there like I'd been punched backstage. No, it's fine.
It really did.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why you touched it. Jeez, we'll have to. Don't touch that, John. I see. If one of your teeth had fallen out, I'm not sure I would have touched it. But...
Well, when you've been on as long as I have, you can touch people's teeth.
Anyway, don't worry. This won't ruin the story.
Okay.
So Connecticut, everybody in the state of Connecticut, I don't know if you notice this, I don't know if your friend, everybody to me looks like Jack LaScoolie. I don't know why that is. They all, I know that's not much of a joke, but that's all I had time for. I was in a rush.
You do your best.
It sounds like a joke,
That's
doesn't it?
right.
They all look like Jack LaScoolie. So,
Durwood Kirby might have got it.
yeah, maybe
It's got a
Durwood
K
would.
in it, you
Yeah, I tried for a while.
Kirby's got a K in it. You should go for that.
All right, Durwood Kirby. Everybody up there looks like Durwood Kirby.
Oh, that's great.
You see?
So,
So it's little things.
you know, it's very conservative. Like I said, they have, mud wrestling. Oh, that doesn't go up there. They have mud debating.
Mud debating.
But seriously, so I have this dog, Bob.
Yes, you've had that dog on the show. Not a bright animal.
But a fine dog.
Yeah, I
a
didn't mean to
lovable dog.
denigrate him, but
So he one day he kills himself a skunk. Ooh. Now this doesn't happen in New York, you
Right.
know, and it doesn't happen here in California much. So Bob killed himself a skunk. So what do? Well, first you're angry, of course, so you try to get over that, and then you're shocked and you get over that, and then you make soup. No. But the problem with this is now you have to get the stench off the dog.
almost impossible.
It is almost impossible. Right away, people said to me, tomato juice. Cover the dog in tomato juice. Easy money, no problem. Well, we had no tomato juice. Barbecue sauce was as close as we could get. So within a matter of minutes, the dog kind of hardens to a real long-lasting thing. You know, and you're petting the dog. It's a little like this. And but it's nice you can put drinks on him. You know,
Yeah.
when folks come over. So this doesn't work, and he still stinks.
Oh.
Something unfortunate. So some friends of ours said the only thing to correct this problem is Massengill.
Oh, yes, I know. That's a female douche product,
It's
is it not?
a douche product. Now, by the way, there's an interesting commercial for this stuff. It's a woman standing in the country, and she says, freshness is the feeling you get walking on a country lane after a springtime shower. Now, that's mud, isn't it? So,
Isn't that
yeah, that's mud.
Yeah.
So now I got a problem with this Massengill deal because Bob is an 80-pound dog.
You're right.
This is a very conservative community. I'm not walking into the pharmacy and saying, I need a case of the stuff. And then it gets worse when you explain, oh, it's for the dog. That doesn't work either. Now, the other little experience with Bob,
Yeah.
one day in the summertime was very hot, and I went off someplace and I was going to have burgers that evening for dinner. So I put the ground beef out, and it went bad. Now, you know, I'll take the responsibility for buying bad meat, but... So I throw it away. The next morning I get up, and I discover that Bob has consumed a half a pound of tainted ground beef. Now, I'm concerned about this because I think it could do some real damage. So I called the vet, and the vet said, well, there's only one thing you can do. You have to induce vomiting. Well, you know, right away I'm relieved because I know I have my day cut out for me. And, you know, I know I got something to do.
That's right.
So it's a hot day, and the guy says, what you got to do is get your dog to drink some hydrogen peroxide. Now, it's not as easy as it sounds.
Yeah.
And it's very dangerous, by the way, but you'd be surprised how uncooperative a dog can be when you want him to drink chemicals out of a plastic bottle. So all day long, I'm walking Bob through the yard, trying to pour this stuff all over him, and it's bleaching his fur. He's a black dog, and he's auburn, and it's bleaching his gums pink. He's beginning to look like Gloria Vanderbilt. You know? Finally, I get enough of this stuff down, Bob, and it works. Pay dirt. Everything comes up, and it looked pretty good, John. And it's a really hot day, so I'm thinking, great, at least it worked. I saved my dog's life. I went inside. I brought out something to clean up the mess. Now, there is generally one thing that will separate dogs from humans. Dogs will do things on a regular basis that humans would never do in a million years. And while I was inside, Bob did one of those things. So now, of course, we have to repeat the process. Bob thought, what the hell? It's a buffet, all you can eat. So,
Salad bar. Had that.
salad bar. Not easy out there in Connecticut, Johnny.
Life is not easy.
No.
We have to do another commercial here. Yes, we have to. Or we'll be in trouble. We'll be back.